Seriously, if I came across one of the droids in this film, I would just leg it and probably shit my pants. Oblivion. Okay, so the plot of Oblivion is set 60 years after a war between an alien race and the humans on Earth, and basically the Earth is pretty much destroyed and the humans are evacuated into space, and Tom Cruise and this female character that he's with are left as a kind of mop-up crew to gather resources with an army of droids at their command as well. And from there, Tom Cruise starts to learn some things about the past and the aliens and everything that's happened up until that point, and starts to question some things. Now from the off, I was really anticipating this film. I absolutely love science fiction. It's my favourite genre, period. Nothing comes close to me as much as science fiction. And the movie ended up to be really good, but it's flawed as well. I'll start off with the good. It's visually impressive. I mean, the special effects in this film are phenomenal. There are times when you don't even know if it's a computer generated or a practical effect, because they just blend in so seamlessly, and you just get these beautiful shots of the vistas, and it's like every single shot that he makes is like kind of like a money shot that you could have for the film, and there's one every couple of minutes, and it just keeps coming at you and just blowing you away. It's got a really kind of like futuristic soundtrack as well. It's kind of like a techno beat and mixes, and it really pulsates in the background and really adds to the experience, and it gives you this sense of discovery and wonder about the world, as when Tom Cruise's character is out looking around the world and interacting with it, you feel like you're kind of there with him. The film also created these droids that are in the film, these balls that have kind of like turrets on the side, and then they have the eyepiece in the middle, and I'm not kidding you, these things were as intimidating as shit. I mean, if I came up across one of these in a hallway, I would probably just piss my pants. The design of them is absolutely fantastic, and it really creates this intimidating presence, and I was really shocked about how intimidating these things were, because like I said, if I came up to one, I'd just go, yep, take me, I'm all yours. It's really great to see some intelligent sci-fi in cinemas, because a lot of the time when you get a science fiction film in cinemas, it's kind of watered down for an audience so they can ingest it, and this film doesn't really do that. It does a little bit of keeping the audience up to date with what's going on, but for the most part it requires the audience to pay attention and really get invested in the world. It's not much about the characters, more about the ideas of the film and the discovery, and the film is very mismarketed. It's kind of pushed as this kind of like action sci-fi film. It's more of like a slow methodic mystery that takes place on Earth with the characters. And it's bursting with ideas. I mean, these ideas are borrowed from films like 2001, Moon, Solaris, Silent Running, and Silent Running is one of my favourite films of all time. And if you're going to go towards a film like Silent Running with your ideas, you've really got to be strong. Fortunately, the film isn't as strong as I think it thinks it is. The script is all over the place. I mean, there are times when it's not handled well at all, and it kind of feels like it's going out of control. There's just so many ideas, it feels like the director wanted to cram it. It wanted to fill in like every single sci-fi tick box, and it just can't handle them all and gel them all together. It feels like it went for a lot of rewrites, a bit of padding, and it's just too stuffed. It's just too stuffed with much. And because of that, at times you feel like you feel like you're complicated by the story. You feel like you're not getting what's going on. I mean, it all comes together at the end. I just don't think the script has a digestible way for the audience to interpret its information and gather it. And if you're a big science fiction fan, you'll see the plot turns and plot twists coming from a mile away, because they are very conventional and built from such films that I've referenced, and they kind of are interpreted in this one. However, I enjoyed this film a lot despite its flaws. I just find it really refreshing to see films like this in mainstream cinema, because you don't get a lot of hardcore science fiction films anymore. Now you get the big action blockbusters, so it's nice to have a film that's slower paced and just raises some interest and ideas. So I'm going to give Oblivion a 3.5 out of 5. I think it's heavily flawed. I don't think it's for everyone, but I personally really enjoyed it, and you may enjoy it too, so check it out if you can. And as usual, if you like this review, you can click subscribe and you can see more.